Hello and Namaste. Again proceeding further in grinding. So now I'm going to discuss regarding center type grinding and centerless grinding. First, center type grinding. As we have discussed regarding grinding till now, and as already I discussed in the previous videos, center type grinding basically means that when you are having a workpiece and you are proceeding for a grinding or material removal on the grinding machine, then the grinding takes place such that the workpiece to be grinded is held between the centers. As you can see in the figure, the workpiece is held between the centers, and so in this diagram we can say that we are having a grinding wheel and the headstroke and the tailstroke, and the workpiece held between these centers, and the upper table, lower table, base of the machine. So in this process, the workpiece is held rigidly between the centers, headstock and tailstock in a chuck or in a suitable holding device, rotating about its axis. The work past the rotating wheel or the grinding wheel past the workpiece, means we are talking grinding, conventional grinding, with the grinding makes contact with the workpiece and removes the material. The feeding of the wheel or work is done either by hydraulic or mechanical power or by hand. Then in this same we have another word, plunge grinding. Plunge grinding means that if the width of the grinding wheel face in comparison with the length of the work, these two are compared. So if the width of the wheel face is or equal more or equal to the length of the work to be ground, then the wheel may be fed in with no transverse movement. This is known as plunge grinding. That means since the length of the workpiece is less or equal to the width of the grinding wheel, so the transverse movement to the workpiece is not required since the length is less or equal. And this is known as plunge grinding. Otherwise, if the length of the workpiece is more than the width of the grinding wheel, then the transverse movement will also be required. Then the wheel head is generally mounted on the horizontal crossways on the bed and travels along these ways to feed the wheel to the work. This movement is known as in-feed. Now next, starting with the centerless grinding. Centerless grinding is the same grinding technique, only difference being that now the workpiece to be grinded is not held between the centers. Some other way of support is to be provided. I repeat, the workpiece to be grinded is not held between the centers, as we see in the last slide or last page that the workpiece was held between the headstock and tailstock. In this case, grinding will proceed in the same manner, but the workpiece will not be held between the headstock and tailstock, and some other means or movement will be used. As we are having one more diagram here, so we will have a grinding wheel which will rotate about its axis, and we will have a workpiece, but now workpiece will not be held between the headstock and tailstock, whereas it will be given an additional support through a work rest blade. And we will also have a regulating wheel. Regulating wheel will also rotate in the same direction as the grinding wheel. It will be basically to provide support and simultaneously assist in the feed movement. Support while having the feed movement, and the support at this side is given by the work rest blade, and simultaneously the movement will be accomplished as per use. So it is of different types. We have centerless grinding, through feed, in feed, we will see. So these are also the different diagrams for the through feed grinding, plunge grinding, just internal grinding. So we will discuss now the types of centerless grinding. And one more thing, likewise, as we saw in the classification of the grinding machines, we were dealing with the external and internal grinding. Similarly, here also we can say for external centerless grinding as well as internal centerless grinding. So external centerless grinding, the workpiece instead of mounting between the centers is supported by a combination of grinding wheel, regulating wheel and a work rest blade. This we saw just now also in the definition of the grinding wheel. So we will have a grinding wheel and the regulating wheel rotating in the same direction. In between we will have the workpiece and we will have the work rest blade, and simultaneously according to the width of the grinding wheel and the length of the workpiece in comparison to these two dimensions, we may or may not require simultaneous movements or feed movements. So this is also the diagram for the centerless grinding machine. You can go through this diagram. Then continuing further for the further discussion on the theory, principle of centerless grinding is used for both the internal as well as external grinding. Then regarding the application, many hollow, cylindrical and tapered workpiece like the bushes, pistons, valves, tubes and balls, etc., which either do not or cannot have centers, are best ground by centerless grinding process. However, grinding operation is performed by the grinding wheel only. Regulating wheel provides the required support to the workpiece. It helps the workpiece to remain in contact with the grinding wheel. The diagram we also saw the regulating wheel was to the extreme right. The required support from the bottom, however, is provided by the work rest, as I explained also. As the workpiece, while rotating, the workpiece rests on the work rest. Regulating wheel carries rubber bond and helps in rotation of the workpiece due to friction. So, in order to avoid the slippage and in order to effectively help in the rotation of the workpiece, it carries the rubber bond and it helps in the rotation of workpiece due to friction. And the direction of two wheels are the same, grinding wheel and regulating wheel. We discussed this before also. Now let us discuss the types of the external centerless grinding. First is the through feed. This is a diagram for the through feed. In this method, the workpiece is supported and revolved as usual but is simultaneously given an axial movement also by the regulating wheel and guides so to pass between the wheels. That means in order to grind or machine the entire length of the workpiece is supported, that is as usual, but simultaneously the axial movement is also given by the regulating wheel and the guide so as to pass between the wheel and the guides. So in order to have effectively passing of the workpiece between the guides, angle is provided between these two and it is regulating wheel is inclined at 2 to 10 degree with the vertical. This is used for straight cylindrical jobs. Second one is infeed. It is similar to the plunge grinding. I discussed the plunge grinding basically when the width of the grinding wheel is width of the grinding wheel is equal to or more than the length of the workpiece. So it is similar to the plunge grinding. Both regulating and grinding wheels are more than the work length to be ground. Axis of regulating wheel is inclined a little. This is a diagram. We can have end stop. So it has to recognize that the grinding length has been machined. Then the third type is the end feed method. Basically in this we can have the dressings of the wheel. We can have the dressing of the wheel. Please notice my pointer simultaneously. To contain the desired shape or form. Now regarding the feeding of the workpiece is fed longitudinally from the side. Thus when we are having a particular, you can say, taper shape of the workpiece, we can have the dressing of the wheel like this in these two shapes, and the desired workpiece is fed longitudinally from the sides and as the workpiece advances between the revolving wheels, its surface is ground till its further end touches the end stop. That means we are having again end stop, so as to notice also when the required time or the required length, total length has been machined. And regarding the application, it is used for grinding of both spherical as well as tapered surfaces, but it suits best to the grinding of short tapered surfaces. This is all regarding the external grinding and its classification. Now the internal centerless grinding, the mechanism similar, however the slight difference in diameter. In with this we are having a grinding wheel, a regulating wheel, workpiece, and since it is internal, so this is the grinding wheel. In addition, we will have a pressure roll and we will have a support wheel. So the workpiece is mounted between the control wheel, support wheel and a pressure roll. See the corresponding diagram. Centers of the control wheel, workpiece and grind wheel all lie on the same line. Center of control wheel, workpiece, grinding wheel. Center of grinding wheel, workpiece and the control wheel all lie in the same line. This is what it means. And this is also known as on center internal centerless grinding. This is very interesting and very simple also regarding the centerless grinding. So first we discuss the center type grinding, then we discuss the centerless grinding, difference between the two, the types of centerless grinding, external, internal, then the types of the external centerless grinding according with the corresponding applications. I hope it's clear. Thank you.